Hello, Money Queens and listeners. Welcome to Women Behind the Millions. Let's meet the women behind the millionaires, the women supporting, guiding, celebrating women with their wealth. You will hear from women millionaires, how they got there, what they wish they had known, what got them to be a millionaire, the emotional side, the spiritual side, the practical side of wealth. You'll also get to meet the women behind the scenes helping make it happen. Let's dive into Women Behind the Millions. I am Jessica Weaver, your host, best-selling author of 3 books, wealth advisor, and founder of the Women's Wealth Boutique. Let's start meeting the women. Hello, Money Queens. Welcome to Women Behind the Millions. Today, we have my dear friend, Desiree Miranda, on with us. Hello. Desiree and I met several years ago. Yeah, this was pre-kids. And she worked at one of my favorite designers, Allison Olivia. And she worked at the store in Bryant Park in New York City. So usually around Christmas time, my husband and I would go into the city to see a Duke basketball game, to see the Christmas show, whatever the reason. And my husband knew how much I loved Allison Olivia. So as we went by the store, he goes, "Why don't you go in there and pick out something?" And it was kind of a Pretty Woman moment for myself. Just a shopping part. I mean, we were already married at this point, but it blew my mind. And it was so much fun to go into the store that has, and if you know Allison Olivia, such a range of dresses, jeans, tops, shoes, accessories, such a wide range. And I picked out this gorgeous black and gold dress. And we got home a few weeks later. I get this thank you note in the mail from Desiree, who helped me pick it out. And that's kind of our relationship. We just kept talking and texting. She found out my first book, Strong Woman, Stronger Assets, was coming out. And we did a book signing at the same store at Bryant Park in the city. We did a second book signing. And I think between the two, we raised, between what Allison Olivia donated and our book proceeds, about $3,000 for the Susan G. Komen Foundation, which is always important to, so many women in my family, friends, their moms have battled with breast cancer. And Desiree, who is on with us today, is a huge charitable side to her as well. So we're definitely going to get into that.
Yeah.
Too. But ever since then, she would send me a box of clothes that I get to try on. My daughter thinks it's the most amazing thing in the world. And I come out, I do a little fashion show. We say yes, no. I love Desiree because she always pushes me out of my comfort zone a little bit. My husband likes that as well. And then she told me she just launched her very own fashion line, Miranda New York. And here we are both wearing the blazers. They are amazing. She had a pop-up shop at our last event, the Hidden Power Change Summit. So just a little glimpse into Desiree as we're talking about this, but she is a New York City-based multi-brand stylist. She's now the owner of Miranda New York. And she just loves helping women look and feel amazing in everything they wear and continue to just bring styling in a new way. And whether it's in a virtual setting, in person, and now with your own clothing line. So I know that was a long intro. Without further ado, Desiree, thank you so much for being on Women Behind the Millions today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. So happy to be here. Thank you so much for also all those kind words. I've loved working with you since day one. I remember that day like it was yesterday. And then truly your husband was so sweet, being go give her this one, tell her to try that one. And you were hesitant. And then it ended up, of course, being one that you loved. So that's always how it goes.
Always going to find something you love at that store. It's like Disney World for me.
Yeah. And then the boxes are Christmas morning every single time.
Yes. I tell my husband, my mother, I'm just talk to Desiree.
Yeah, I'll deal with it.
It's amazing. And I've been telling women about you because we're so busy that, yes, I love shopping, but then I feel like I'm rushing through it or I get frustrated. And let's be honest, the fashion world right now, there's a lot of stuff going.
Oh, it's so saturated. It's insane.
There's a lot of 90s stuff going on. There's a lot of mid-century dresses going on. So figuring out what your style is or what you want your style to be can be very overwhelming.
Yeah. Well, I think like I relate it to what a lot of women in business do. They outsource. So like, why wouldn't you outsource your wardrobe? Ask for help and you'd be surprised. People are afraid and intimidated to do it. And then they do it once and they're like, I can't believe I've lived 10 years of my life without you. Like, so that's how it goes. I'm the stepping block. Like we'll get you there. We have to start somewhere.
And I love, like Alice and Olivia just came out with bathing suits. So I could ask you, a trusted contact, how's the material? How are they? How's the fit?
Yeah.
And even, dresses, they'll fit differently or how stretchy is the material when you're shopping virtually. So having somebody like you, I know what's the quality, what's my size probably going to be because you know me and my body changed. And I said, just bikinis because that part of my life is over.
No, it's true.
Don't need a shrink bikini that my son will rip off in a second.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I feel like people always ask me too, like, how do you remember everything about your clients? And I'm like, well, this is my full-time job. How does a doctor remember about his patients? It goes hand in hand, like I work with you guys. I talk to some of my clients more than I talk to my family. So it's like, it just is what it is. Like we're friends. I know your entire wardrobe already. I know what you feel comfortable in. So when things come into the stores, I shoot text messages because I think of you right away. And I'm like, Jess would love this. Like I know she has that charity gala in a month. Like I'm going to send her a photo and maybe this will be the one she wears. So
yes. Yeah. I'm looking at the book covers. So yeah, that one was you.
Yep, that one I did for you. And this one too.
So I might need to get that one tailored a little bit. But anyway, so Desiree, tell us about what drew you into fashion. And you can tell you just love fashion and styling and helping people feel good about themselves. What was it just always from when you were a little girl, knew you loved to dress up?
No, to be honest, I think it was more so, I feel like in life, like everybody tries to find ways in order to fulfill themselves. And I feel like I realized early on, like I liked helping women feel good about themselves. And I noticed like when I would be with my friends and we'd all be getting ready, people would kind of be like, okay, like Desiree, like, do you like what I'm wearing? And I would just be the honest one in the friend group, like, no, don't wear this instead. And you see people's eyes light up. And that for me is like the best feeling in the world. And that's kind of where like, I just leaned in and I was like, this feels good to me. So I'm going to keep doing it for others. And it's now turned into having my own line.
So you were your own friend's fashion police.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. Love that.
I do. You are right. Because when you think of something in a new perspective, a new light, or just mixing and matching a different piece within the outfit, how it can completely transform the look, the feel, the style. And they knew something wasn't right if they're asking you that.
Exactly. 100%. Well, it's also body type too. Like I feel like something I specialize in is helping women dress for their own particular body types. Like that is the biggest challenge all women face. They don't know their truest potential. So they'll put things on and they'll be like, I feel good in this. Like, this looks great. And then I'm like, you're right, it does. But hold on, you can do better. And then the second they put on what I tell them to wear, or add a belt here, or move it to the side instead of the middle, like whatever it is, to just like little changes to the outfit. It's insane the difference it makes. And that's where like, it brings my biggest joy out of it.
So let's keep going down your career path. So you're the fashion police for your friends. And then what was your first job or role in the fashion industry?
So I remember literally being 16 years old and I applied for an internship at Nordstrom. And I was just like, I want to work. I want to be around clothes. Like, I like doing this. Like, let me try. And so, yeah, it was kind of like a high school internship. And then once I turned 18, it became a part-time role that I would literally go to Nordstrom like after like high school. And that's where I really fell in love with retail and working with people and getting my like, that again, like my truest joy came from meeting strangers and hearing people's stories and helping them build their wardrobes right there. Like I loved meeting new people and I realized that. And then that's when I told my parents, okay, I'm going to fashion school in New York. And they saw it as like, okay, that's fine. Like, you'll go to marketing, you'll be in PR, you'll do events, whatever it is. And like, of course, I did my first like PR internship and was like, absolutely not. This is not for me. Started working at Saks Fifth Avenue, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, school Monday through Thursday. And that's where I was like, I love this. I just wanted to be like, again, it's meeting new people and fostering relationships, building clienteling is what we call it. That was like, for me, where I like loved. And then, so then after that, once I started working at Alice and Olivia was when I was 22 years old. And that's kind of where I really saw like a career being built. And from there, I think like retail is sometimes like frowned upon in the sense of it's similar to like if you work in the restaurant industry or whatever, like those like more lower jobs, blue collar jobs. But for me, I saw it as like, I'm just paying my dues to get to the next like level of wherever it is I end up wanting to go. I didn't know I was going to end up being a stylist. I didn't know I was going to end up owning my own line. Like I had no idea where it was going to take me. I just knew like, I have to do this now to then get to where I was going. And again, I saw like the biggest opportunity in relationships building, in like meeting new people, fostering relationships, being real with them and making friends. Something that I always believed was like, your net worth is only as big as your network. And so that's kind of,
I love that.
Yeah, that like, I feel like I heard that so early on and I was like, wait, this is true. Like, I need to like rein that in. Like, that's absolutely true. And even like building my business, it was kind of like, I used my entire network to figure it out. Like I didn't know where to start. And I was like, let me just ask people, see what they tell me. And they kind of all just fell together one by one. But yeah, there's so much I could say.
And you were in Miami, right? Miami, Florida.
I was born in Miami.
Okay. Then you moved to the city. You were going to the Fashion Institute. You were working at Saks and then Alice and Olivia.
Once I graduated,
paying your dues. This has been coming up a lot lately, and I've been telling kind of the next generation. There are times when you are kind of investing in your career. You're not reaping the benefits of it yet, but you're learning the operational side of it, the business side. You're making connections, the networks, all of these different pieces as you go paying your dues. And then there's going to be a time for like this growth period, which seems what you're in right now, right? You're the network. And I love that your net worth is only as big as your network. We got to repeat that, ladies. Remember that it's a community. It's always about, right? What are the opportunities? What are the connections of people that are supporting you as well for it? And it's interesting because you said did you ever dream of having your own fashion line?
No, I had no idea. Really, like, yeah. So like starting my line was kind of like, well, I'll start with saying this. Like once I quit working at Alice and Olivia, that was how I was able to maintain my relationships, because there's only so much like with my clients, there's only so much of one brand a woman can have. So I kind of was like, it was like, I had to, like, I didn't have another option. If I wanted to keep these relationships, I needed to go on my own to be able to offer them new services, whether it's I go to your house and we do recloset organizations. And then I add in other brands, we add in accessories, etc. I now start doing your husband, all of that. And so then from there, starting the new line was kind of like, I saw, like, this is how they always say like businesses start, right? Like you see like a niche and an opening in the market. And I kind of was like, okay, wait, like I'm looking for the perfect like wardrobe starter essentials, right? And like, I can't necessarily, like, I can't find them, but like, how do I find them consistently? Where it's like, it's not like, okay,
it's
like
not just in and out for a season. You could always go back there.
So that was literally like the blazer launch, which is what Miranda New York is right now. This is kind of like the very first quintessential piece for building your wardrobe. And then I'll do the next drop. It'll probably end up being pants. And then the one after that might be like the perfect dress or whatever it is the vision goes. But yeah, that's kind of the idea of it all. Like starting off with women's wardrobe essentials, and then we'll get into more being able to be creative. But it came from a place of wanting to assist my clients further. Like that was really what it started. I was like, how do I help my clients find exactly what they're looking for that doesn't necessarily exist. Oh, I can just make it.
Yes, you found that opportunity, the gap in the
Yeah.
marketplace. Smart of you to jump on that.
Yeah.
I remember previous conversations with you, and you were explaining how, as a stylist, there's two different ways you can style, right? You can kind of almost force somebody into a box, or what is out there, or you create something.
Yeah. So like a lot of designers in the like fashion industry, they think very like egotistically almost, where it's like, I'm telling the client what they should be wearing. So like, that's where you get up really high end in the Balenciaga world, the Bottega world. They design with like, this is my vision for what is cool right now. Like I'm telling you what you should wear. And I'm approaching it from a point of like, no, my client is telling me what they should wear. Like I'm listening to her. She's telling me she feels good in this. She's telling me what she wears on her day to day is X, Y, Z. Like, okay, I'm going to make what you're telling me you're going to wear. So that's another way I like kind of thought of it, which like, I think some contemporary brands, like they do contemporary brands, like an Alice & Olivia, like a Veronica Beard, they kind of think about it wider range, where it's like they have the pieces that they think are really cool and creative, and then they have their like standard tried and true basics, which is like I'm hoping to like I'm starting off, and then we'll be able to launch into the more creative end. But right now we're working towards the tried and true basics.
You're tapping into a little bit on what the vision is for Miranda New York. And Miranda, that's your last name.
Yes, it's my last name.
And then New York, that makes so much sense, where you're located and what kind of just blossomed your love for fashion and style.
Yeah, no, really. It was like born on the streets of Soho, like walking up and down with like multiple bags from like all the different stores. Like, I'm like the Green Street bag lady. I always used to joke.
So you'll see Miranda, Desiree trudging down New York City streets, bags and bags and bags.
No matter what, like rolling racks, the whole 9 yards.
Do you see yourself having a brick and mortar store or more pop-up shops? Where do you see that going?
So right now, I'm really leaning into the pop-ups. I think that it's like a great way. Yeah. Like brand exposure and kind of being able to see what people are liking and not necessarily having to invest so much into it. So that's where my head's at. Well, also too, like I can say from a styling perspective, the pop-ups are kind of what I use as a way to like gain new clients. So like I'll have clients all over the country and they kind of host an event with me and I bring all the brands that I work with. And now like I have the chance to bring my own brand as well. And I'm introduced to their network. And then from that, I now like work with all those women and it kind of just like it trickles down and you find your little niche of people that end up being your forever clients. And that's what the pop-ups have brought me.
Did you have that knowledge going into the pop-ups?
No, everything has always like fallen into place. It's so crazy.
Very organic. Yeah. Was there a business plan going into Miranda New York?
Into Miranda New York, yes, in the sense that I knew I had the clientele. So it really started with, okay, like let me make the first wardrobe essential piece that I believe all my women should have. And then from there, it's kind of like now I'm reaching the point of starting to reach out to wholesalers and all that. But I just launched a month ago. So we're still, I know, we're still doing like my own personal client outreach. Like there's so many women that still haven't even gotten it yet. So like it's been a busy month, but all good things.
A month of celebrating. Yes. Are you blown away by the response so far for the blazers?
I really am. It's been so beautiful to just like, I wake up to a new text message, I feel like every morning, like wearing it to this press event, wearing to my office today, my Saturday outfit with the girls, or like, it's been so beautiful. I think like, again, it goes back to the relationships that I've had over the last like 7 or 8 years. Like my clients, they trust me. They know they've been trusting me for 8 years. Like, of course, anything I was going to make, they were going to love and live in. And I think it kind of really became full circle for them too, that it's exciting that now like they're wearing something their stylist created. And it's like, It all just goes full circle. It's really beautiful. When women support each other, it's no end to it. Like so much good happens.
The feminine economy, the feminine ecosystem.
Yeah.
What a beautiful time to have these pops with social media, because now it feels we're all connected. It's like we're the fan base, the team.
Yeah.
Around Miranda, New York. Right? I have my blazer. I usually keep it in my office, but then sometimes I forget I wore it to a wedding. And
I saw.
Yeah. So I know this isn't promo just for Miranda, New York, but to be honest, ladies, I wear a lot of jackets. This is the one that I feel I can breathe the most in.
Yeah, because it's relaxed. Mm-hmm.
It is. It's relaxed. I hate when it's too far into the pits and it's uncomfortable. It just falls very nicely because it's a very nice weight to it and texture.
Yep.
But you can wear it with jeans. I wear it with a cocktail dress to a wedding. You can wear it with biker shorts and a sports bra probably.
Yeah, literally how I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah, you can roll the sleeves up a little bit to get more relaxed feel for it. But yeah, it is amazing. What was the time length of creating and launching a fashion line? Because it seems like a big endeavor. The material, the shape, who's going to actually sew it, put it together. What was that like?
Insanity, honestly. So the whole, I would say start to finish from idea to business, it took me about a year of really thinking through everything, doing the research, because for me, the research was the most important. I'm already working with Alice Olivia, Veronica Beard, ALC, all of these really top end brands that my clients love and trust. I had to make something that was going to be on par with that. And if it wasn't going to be, there was no way I was going to be able to do it, because it wouldn't make sense for me to give something to a client that isn't as good as what they already have. So I needed it to be perfect. So doing all of the research, the first step is finding a pattern maker. So I did a ton of interviews across New York City to just find the best person, partnership wise, that they were going to take my feedback and we were going to work together well. And then I really needed a big part of it was that I needed to have them have connections to another production team, because so basically you find the pattern maker, they are the ones that create the tech packs, or no, I'm sorry. The designer creates a tech pack, and then the tech pack is given to the pattern maker, and the tech pack is what has all of the it's your bill of materials, what materials will be used, the measurements for the sample sizing, and how you want it, the actual design of it. And then you go into the pattern making of it, which is how the fabric will be cut. So, so you'll cut the pattern will be a one sleeve, the shoulder, and then the interfacing and all of that, those measurements and everything. And then it's run through the fabric cutting machine. And then it goes to, so you have the cutting room, which is also another thing. And then from the cutting room, it goes to the production factory. And then that's when they put together all of the pieces. And in between all of this, you're sourcing shell fabric, lining fabric, threads, notions, buttons, zippers if you're doing that, shoulder pads, sleeve heads, all of these things.
So much more than I ever would have imagined that goes into this.
Yeah, and it's I used to joke while I was making it, I had decision fatigue, because it's
I can understand that.
Yeah, it's choosing a button is not the end of the world, but it is.
Yes.
I needed it. And there's hundreds of different ones that you can choose. So it was just every day, going to the stores and deciding and figuring out which one was going to be right. And then so then back to the creation of it. So once the pattern's made, then you make a sample, but it starts as a muslin. So you have the muslin, and then the muslin is kind of where you can play around and see, open it up here more, make it more relaxed in the arm, give me an inch here. And then they go into the first sample. And this is where the most investment, I want to say, comes out of, because you can make 3 or 4 samples of something and still not get it right. And it's because of the fabrics that you've used. It's because of how like the fit needs to be changed, because you also have the fit model come in. And so I went through like 5 samples on the first round. But just because, again, it was finding the perfect fabrics. Like that was like the most important thing. Like I needed it to be seasonless. I needed them to wear well. I needed them to look expensive. I needed them to have all these different features that I knew my woman, and even myself, if I was buying it myself, like I would be so happy to have that in my wardrobe because it would be on constant rotation. And so, yeah, that's the process.
Wow. Labor of love, a lot of discipline, patience, focus.
I know.
It's almost like your non-negotiables, like keeping those present. What am I not willing to settle for?
Yes, exactly. That's the problem, like you end up wanting to get it over with. And it's like, okay, like I just want to get to production. I just want to be able to have the product already. But it's like, no, like if this is not exactly what I'm looking for, like I have to do it again. Like I need to have that peace of mind. So that's why I ended up taking a year, because it basically like from like to make a sample takes about 3 weeks. And at least in New York, because I'm doing it all in the garment district. If I was overseas, it'd be a different story, because then it's like the shipping back and forth, which is what most designers do. So to be in New York, I had to pay a little bit more, but it was worth it in that sense. And yeah.
You can be a little bit more hands-on.
Yes, exactly. It was the hands-on.
Thank you for sharing that process. No idea. I figured it was a long process. We were talking, you said it was about a year for it. What are the risks with starting your own line?
Oh my God, 1,000,001.
What keeps you up at night when it comes to
my inventory in my apartment right now?
See, I love your stories though, because you read about Sarah Blakely, who started Spanx. And she was the same way, right? Everything was in her apartment.
Oh,
She's going to be on Oprah's show for Oprah's Favorite Things. And they came to interview her and her staff, and she's like, "It's me." And she had some family and friends come and pose as staff.
Like,
I love hearing these stories.
They read my paragraph text messages every morning, listen to my 2-minute long voice notes. Like, this is my team. I know, literally. I mean, yeah, that's kind of how it starts. Like, I'm all in my apartment. I'm doing it all on my own. Like, I'm so like fortunate. I ended up hiring my old coworker to kind of design with me. And she kind of has really stepped up and become like a little bit of like a partner in a sense. And that's been like so helpful, just having like a sounding board, again, with the like decision-making process and all of that. But I think, hold on, let me go back to your original question of what keeps you up at night. It's moving the product. Like, I think once I made the product, I was like, so obsessed with it and like, oh my God, amazing. Now I have it. And it's like, now I have to put it out there. So doing the press, talking to my clients, and I have the added benefit, like since I'm a stylist, I bring them to every appointment that I have. Mm-hmm. So like just yesterday, I had like a random woman DM me on Instagram and was like, I'm leaving on a trip on Thursday. Like, can you send me, like, how can we work together? I need help. And I immediately like called her. We figured it all out. I had some pieces messengered over to her apartment, and we kind of did a virtual consult, and she kept my blazer because it was like, it worked for her wardrobe in that moment. So that's kind of like, again, you asked me about business plan. Like, that's kind of my business plan, since I have like the styling background. I'm so like lucky that I have access to these women who come to me for clothes and now I have clothes to give them. So
and it is such a staple piece, whether it's with a dress, with jeans, or in a business setting. Like, I have skinny black pants on with it. I have pink shirt.
So we need the pink.
But yeah, I love hearing, as I said, I love hearing these stories of how it starts. It starts with just this little idea. There's a gap. There's an opportunity, right? There's a problem. There's an opportunity. And then you spend a year perfecting it and getting it right without settling. And just think of how much you've grown stepping into this whole new area of your world of retail, of fashion, styling. You've learned so much from picking, where's the button? The button on it. And how much goes into picking that button.
Yeah.
It's like you stepped into the unknown every single day last year.
Yeah.
You got to feel like a different person at this point.
Oh, 100%.
There's so much growth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that like, I love this quote that you only grow outside of your comfort zone. And that's what this was. Like, it was so risky, so terrifying, but I kind of had faith in myself, and I knew like, if I don't do it, I just have to act. Like, just do it. The second you do it, you'll figure it out along the way. Appreciate the process. You won't get there overnight, but it's going to turn into something that you will love, and we'll get better in time. And that's kind of like been my approach to even when I went off on my own in my styling business. Like, it didn't happen overnight that I was like successful, where I had women reaching out to me over Instagram, but now it's like when you're consistent. Yeah. And you just have to be consistent. Like, I think like you almost brand yourself, right? Like, I chose to brand myself as a stylist, and like I became the go-to person for wardrobe consultations between all of my clients and their networks. So it was like from there, that kind of just like spiraled. And then I started doing the pop-ups because it was a way to incorporate charity, which we spoke about. And then now, like, again, when like how the reason for launching the line was just to find a new way to help my clients like better style them, really. And the blazers are just the start. Like, there's so many other products that I want to make, and I'm so excited about it. And I can't wait to be able to get more creative. And
I feel like you already have the designs in your head.
Yeah, I 100% do.
You caught the bug, and now I remember when after I wrote my first book, I caught the writing bug. I'm like, no, you fall in love with the process and birthing something beautiful to the world.
Yeah.
And then being able to see it transform people's lives or their wardrobes, which in the end transforms, right? How they feel about themselves, their self-esteem, all of that. Can we go into, there's a lot of different areas I want to talk about.
Yeah, I know.
Let's touch on the charity side, since you just brought that up. You're very passionate about getting involved with charities. What does that look like? What's the work, and where is it coming from?
Yeah. So it honestly started like when I was younger, just talking to different women and hearing about like different people's struggles, what they needed outfits for also too. Like, a lot of times it would be, hey, I have this gala that I'm attending for human rights or anti-human trafficking, like whatever it could be. And then we would get into the whole story of why they support that. And it kind of like, for me, like, I had my causes that I cared about, but then it really opened my eyes to like, oh my God, there are so many things in the world that all of us need to like have awareness about. Like, my biggest thing was just building awareness. And so I came up with the idea of let's do events. Like, I'm lucky where I have the opportunity, and I have great relationships with all the brands that I work with, that it could be, okay, like, let me have a client host an event with us. She'll bring her network in, and it'll be a charity fundraising event. And we're going to, a percentage of proceeds will go back to the foundation. We'll do a little like write up on everything the foundation does and is inspired by and the reason for it, et cetera. And then the woman will feel great afterwards because you're shopping for a cause. It's the best of both worlds. And then it's kind of now like, as a business model, really helped me too when it comes to approaching clients that I'm not necessarily like super close with, I guess. So I have a Dallas pop-up in about a month, and this client and I were talking about it, and she was like, she approached me because of the Miranda New York. And then I brought up the charity aspect, and her mind was like, yes, 1,000 times over. This is what we're doing. And like, she got so excited because it was like a way to like give back to her community. Like, I think that when you are part of these charity organizations, you're always trying to find like another event, another way to support the charity. And this was like just a no-brainer where this is easy. Like, this is easy and fun. Like, let's do this. And so now I do charity pop-ups all over the country. And like, I have a huge pocket of philanthropic women in Nashville, in Miami, in New York as well, and then in Manhattan Beach, California. And that's like kind of been my network now.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
No idea. It does make sense. You're right. They're always looking for another different kind of event, way to bring women together to talk about the important cause.
Yeah, it's to build awareness.
yeah, I mean, the feminine ecosystem, man, it's
Really
amazing
a
what women
thing.
can do, those connections
I
and the
know.
brainstorming, the collaboration between you and them and putting the event together and all that energy, just contagious.
Yes, it's fun. It really is. And like the day of the event, like we're all running around. Like I always joke, it's like a welcome to the girls' room kind of attitude because we're like 30 women trying on super fun outfits. Like, I like that on you. I want to try it on me now. Like, it's such a fun atmosphere. And it's something that you don't get from a lot of other places. Like, you can't go into a store and get that. You need to be around your friends and women that are like supporting you. I love it. It's the best.
Fantastic. Yeah, we might have to do that for our next event. I love
But
that.
I'm game. Want to say less? I'm there. Like, New Jersey round two.
And you said stories as listening to these women's stories and how
Yeah.
something tragic in their life, again, they saw problems and they found, opportunities to be able to make changes, maybe not for their lives, but the future lives of somebody going through that illness, disease, accident, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Too. And I've always said how much power there is behind women's stories. And you just really take that extra step to get to know them, which is huge. I mean, men always say that women aren't good at sales, but this is an example of it's not sales because you're just getting to know the person behind the scenes, making a genuine connection with them. And it's more of a heart alignment than a sale, than an exchange.
Truly. No, truly. And I think that, like, again, it goes back to like making people feel good, when like you're having a conversation, like, and I ask them about their story and they feel empowered and able to be vulnerable. Like that, it's an energy exchange. Like, I feel so good that you were able to open up to me because now I care about your cause as well. And then she was able to like vent about it and talk and build awareness, which is what she really cares about. And it all goes full circle. And to your point, that is something women do that not that men don't, but it's just a different tactic, we could say.
Yes. Yeah. I feel we tend to get deep probably a lot quicker.
We do. We're more personable. Like we like this. Like this truly, it feeds our souls as well.
It seems to, for women, we want to be heard too. Heard and understood. And I'm guessing when women come to you for the styling, they probably haven't felt heard by maybe the retailers or fashion or their friends. They feel misunderstood. Like, I want to look good. Why I can't find the right pieces, or even if I do, it doesn't look the same.
How do I put it together? Am I in the wrong size? Oh my God. So many things I see all the time.
What are the top things that women are saying?
So more often than not, women are always buying things that don't fit them. So like they'll buy things in bigger sizes or smaller sizes. And I'm like, no. This is the true size. And this is also like the style you should be in. Like, if you're a curvy woman, don't buy a slip dress. If you are more straight, like you can don't do a skinny jean. Like, you should be in a flare or a boot cut. So there's like so many little like styling tricks like that again, it just like it nails women's true potential. Like, it's not that they don't look good already, but they don't know how good, much better it could be. So that's the biggest thing. But
okay. Yeah. So finding your right size, let's go into some styling tips for the ladies, the money.
Yes.
Finding the right size is huge. And you're right. Yes. Whenever we put something on that's too small, we instantly don't feel good about ourselves. Let's be honest. And then we're uncomfortable. And we're sucking it in all day, and that's not good.
Yeah, and too big also too. Don't get a size 10 if you're a size 6, just because you feel better in it. Trust me.
Right size, and then finding the right
styles for your body type.
Okay, mm-hmm. And you help women do this, so they don't have to figure it out by themselves.
Yes,
but everybody's body is different. I remember my friend was on the beach, and she's trying to find on the beach whose body her body looks like. And I'm like, this feels weird. And one you're not going to find, because everybody's
so different.
It's so different. So different. And let's be honest, as moms, our bodies change after kids. Even if I'm the same weight, but my things don't fit the same way. They just don't.
Absolutely not.
Things get distributed differently, or as gravity takes over. We can't control these things, ladies.
Yes, you get older. It changes.
What's another tip, Desiree?
I really like the rule of thumb where if you're doing something loose on top, then go tight on the bottom, and vice versa, loose on the bottom, tight on top. So like a really big, like billet out pant with like another oversized jacket on top. You're going to be swimming in fabric. You don't need to, like, let's cinch it in where we can. So that's another rule of thumb. Fabrics are huge. Very, very big deal, depending on like the season and what kind of linen also. So like, right now we're going into summer. A lot of people are gravitating toward linens and cottons, but those are fabrics that are harder to maintain. So I always say get blends. Like 100% linen is not going to like hold up well. You'll be able to wear it once or twice.
You're going to look like a wrinkled mess coming out of the car.
Yeah, in 1 second. So little things like that.
Blended fabrics. That's good to know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a few. It'll come to me as we keep talking.
Okay. No, these are helpful for the women.
Yeah,
where do you see fashion going? Because we had the pandemic, so athleisure was huge. Yep. I still feel like I wear very comfy bottoms because most of the time I'm here in front of the camera. I have a wardrobe rack, so I can throw on a blazer. Yep. We're coming out of that though. So what do you think that next phase is? Are we going to get professional again, or is that going to look different even?
So I think people are having a lot of fun with their professional wardrobe right now. Yeah. So I feel like people are leaning into colors, and they're leaning into also textures. Mm-hmm. So like texture is huge right now for the summer, whether it's like crochet, a little like black with like the pops in between the fabrics. There's so many like little different things you can play around in terms of texture. But where I see like wardrobe going, a lot of denim also. Mm-hmm. I think like blazers, like honestly, like the oversized look, that is such a staple because you can do it for the office with jeans, with more casual pants. And that's kind of like your tried and true uniform, even into the weekend wear. And I think people are still dressing for events. So whether that's like you're going on vacations, you're going on wedding guest attire, galas, any kind of event driven outfit, like that's here to stay. And that's like over the top. And then, yeah, not so like traditional suiting where it's like that kind of wool blended fabric that everybody has in their wardrobes. Those are kind of out. It's more so let's play with the textures. Let's play with colors. Let's have fun with it. A lot of like big belts, cinched, higher necks are in as well right now. So that's kind of where it's heading.
Oh, I love that people are having more fun with fashion. I'm definitely having more fun, especially
that's the easiest way to put it. Mm-hmm.
I would, we're
that you don't feel in
financial industry anymore. Is so traditional. You still see business suits, but I'm noticing even with the men, it's a business suit with a shirt, no tie, and not buttoned all the way up, and really cool sneakers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like Air Forces or their work shoes, but a sneaker on the bottom.
Yeah,
it's got like the white sole. Right. I've been noticing that. So I'm like, at least even the men, I always felt bad for them. They're always in the stuffy suit, especially in the summer hot months.
Oh my God.
And I could walk around in a dress and still be professional. I always feel bad for them, but they seem to be having more fun too.
Yep.
With it. I was just at the bank and I'm looking around and they're still in that business suit, and it felt sad to me. I think people are figuring out what their style is, which is so cool. And it's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. It's being seen. Like, I mean, fashion is like a way to express yourself. And I think like so many people stress out when it comes to getting dressed in the morning because they're thinking about how they're going to be perceived and how like if what they wear is like allowed and wherever it is that they're going. And it's becoming like, no, if you like it, just wear it. Like people are almost having more confidence to wear things that they just feel good in. And it's like, as long as you're not like a little risky. Like it doesn't necessarily matter as much.
Yes, as long as to me, if you look put together and you're not showing too much skin, obviously,
Yep.
right? You can dress however you want to. But if you're showing up and it's wrinkled, it's a mess,
Yes.
you look like you rolled around in your bed and you came right out. Maybe
then you
not.
don't look put together. You're not. You're just.
But yeah,
you're
you can wear a nice dress with some nice sneakers, and I'm cool with that. But you look put together and you look polished with it. And
exactly.
a big theme on our show is permission. It seems like people are giving themselves more permission to dress how they want to dress and what feels good to them. And that's very exciting to say.
I'm with you. Agreed. I see it.
Is there anything else, Desiree, that you want to share with us about you, about Miranda New York? Anything upcoming that you want to share with us?
So we have our Dallas pop-up that'll be in a month. Super excited about that. I think now, so again, since we just launched a month ago, it's kind of been like wow, like they always say that you don't really understand your business until 5 years in. And like we'll see. Hopefully I get there before 5 years, but that's what this past month has been. It's been working out the kinks. It's been working on different marketing campaigns and like all of that stuff and reaching out to, like I said, my own personal clients. But then now I'm looking into boutiques and I'm looking into wholesale partners and trying to figure out that whole world because that's entirely different than what I'm used to. So just doing all of that there's just so much that goes into it. But it's all exciting things. It really is. It's good. But yeah, that's Miranda New York. And then, yeah.
And what about for you? You're a big marathon runner.
Oh, yes, I am. We love running.
We've bonded over running. You run a lot more than I do. When's the next marathon? You just did a few, right? And you were raising money.
Yes, exactly. To kill two birds with one stone. I just ran London for young kids, young lives versus cancer. It was amazing. Such a cool experience. These like world marathons, it's the best way to explore a city in my opinion. And running is always how I've been like able to clear my mind. And it's where my ideas come to me. Like I don't know about you when you go on runs, but I'll
very
literally
productive for work.
You know what I mean? Like I literally, yes. I'm opening my notes tab and I'm just like bullet point, like, oh, this idea. So,
if I ever have a speaking gig coming up, I go for a long run and I figure out what I'm going to talk about.
Yes.
Always happen.
Yes. Always.
It's like your version of meditation.
Truly. It really is. And it's so important to, I guess, like, have healthy hobbies, and things that you do for yourself that you are truly excited to get out of bed to do. Like I found such a love in it, but yeah, my next one will be Tokyo next March. So wish me luck.
Good luck. We'll talk to you before then, but thank you so much, Desiree. Where can everybody find you? On social media, your website? They want a closet audit. They want one of those amazing packages that you sent.
Oh, we love. Yeah. Actually, before I go, I want to tell everybody what it is I offer as a stylist.
Yes.
What you are so great about so what I call shop at home boxes. They're Christmas in a box, the greatest thing in the world for all my women that don't live in New York. You can still have New York City fashion at your doorstep. It's completely non-committal. You try it all on before you buy it. I'm right there on FaceTime. I'm a text message away and how you like things and how to pair it, etc. That's the most amazing program. And then I love doing wardrobe consultations where I go to your home, I bring a ton of new stuff. We go out with the old, we find new ways to rework your wardrobe. It's the best. And women are so ecstatic after it. And then the last thing that I also am it's so much fun to do. A lot of my out of town women, when they come to New York City, they'll book me for like a shopping day. So we'll go to Soho and we'll kind of walk up and down all of the stores. And I have like fitting rooms set up at each brand. And we kind of like go through all of like what we want for the day. And it's just so much fun because they do it either just with me or they have a friend with them as well. And it's a shopping day, a fun shopping day. So yeah, that's what I do. You can find my Instagram as like the best form of contact probably. And that's Des Miranda. So DE 3 S's. So DESSFMIRANDA. And then Miranda New York has an Instagram page as well. And that's Miranda New York with an underscore after. And then my website, DesireeMirandaNYC.com, if you want to fill out my questionnaire as well.
Oh, good. We'll have all those links on with this episode of Women Behind the Millions. Thank you so much, Desiree, for being with and sharing us insight on the fashion side of it and ways that we can style ourselves, what it takes to launch a fashion brand. And we cannot wait to see what happens with Miranda New York and how it grows, because I know the idea is already here. It's already basically birthed. I can't wait to see what comes next. So thank you so much for being such a huge part of our feminine economy and for your pop-up shop at our event the other month. We love working with you and so much to come. And thank you, ladies, for listening to another episode of Women Behind the Millions. We will see you, Money Queens, on our next episode.